High tides are creating flooding along the coast from Galveston to Jamaica Beach to the Bolivar Peninsula. These are some of the scenes sent to us by viewers yesterday as the storm moves inland. And portions of the 61st Street Pier are currently collapsing because of the harsh winds and high waves from Beta. A giant piece of the end broke off last night. You can see it in this video provided to us from Saltwater Recon. Now, in addition to that, several school districts are closed today ahead of the storm's arrival. That includes Alvin, Angleton, Bowling, Brazos Sport, Clear Creek, Dickinson, Friendswood, Galveston, Matagorda, and Texas City ISDs. There's a lot. We do have the full list of closures on KHOU.com, and it is also scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Good morning, everyone. A lot to get to. I'm Stephanie Simmons. We do have live team coverage of Tropical Storm Beta. As it moves closer to our area, we do want to start with meteorologist Cheetah Craft. Cheetah, good morning.
Good morning. Well, let's talk about the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. Still on tap to make landfall late this evening. So overnight, that's when we're expecting that northeast turn. So if you see it right now, it is still sitting in the westernmost portion of the Gulf of Mexico, and it makes that northeast turn overnight tonight into tomorrow. And that's why today through Wednesday, really the forecast here will be on and off rain. We are going to be continuing to monitor the potential for those high water spots and any areas of flooding. And really it's the outer bands at this point that's going to continue to kick up on and off rain. That's happened yesterday. So here's Tropical Storm Beta. All the wraparound moisture is feeding all across the areas, but it is going to be with high tide this morning and of course the storm surge as well. That is why we're going to continue to monitor all of our coastal counties extremely closely today and tomorrow. Now we have our Janelle. She's outside. She's in the weather tracker this morning, showing us the conditions. And really, with on and off rain, there's going to be periods of heavy rain. But Janelle, there's also going to be periods where we're seeing a little bit of a lull. What are you seeing this morning?
Well, Cheetah, we're seeing one of those periods where it's completely dry. What you're looking at right now, we're on 610, headed towards 45. We're going to take that south towards the coast where we've already seen some issues overnight as Tropical Storm Beta inches towards us. You notice no rain coming down, but that's going to change as the morning and the day wears on, as you said, Cheetah. So folks out there, you're going to want to be prepared. I want to point this out. Look at the roadways. You can see the water accumulation kind of already there. They're already wet because we saw those downpours throughout the day yesterday. So when the rain comes today, it'll just be adding on to that. It's going to create even more slick conditions out here on the roadways. So if you are headed out, if you have somewhere to be today, that's something that you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. As I said, we're heading south. We'll probably run into a couple more issues that way. We may hit some of those rain bands that you're talking about. So we'll continue to update you all throughout the morning about Tropical Storm Beta and what's going on out here in these streets. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, Janelle Fort live for us in the weather tracker this morning. We will take it from here in the studio. We go now to Marcelino Benito, who is on the coast tracking the storm on the ground level.
All those waves are so huge.
It wasn't your typical beach day on Galveston Island. No sun, very little sand, and gusting winds as waves came crashing up along the seawall.
It seems like the water is getting closer and closer.
Lots of folks curious to get a closer look at the storm, others choosing to surf in it. It's exactly what Galveston County Judge Mark Henry does not want to see as Beta begins dumping more than 10 inches of rain on the area.
The biggest concern is people wanting to go out and drive around and look at things.
The judge asking folks to stay put if possible until Beta clears out midweek. Along the Strand, flooding already underway, and it's expected to get worse.
We're not going to be here too long, no.
In Jamaica Beach, the water creeping into neighborhoods too. Water levels expected to continue to rise in the coming hours.
Right around 6 a.m. we will see a combination of the surge, a combination of the freshwater rain, and a combination of the high tide, which could give us as much as 3 to 4 feet over the road. So that's pretty significant.
Officials urging folks to remain weather alert and not belittle Beta or its flooding impacts as it moves ashore.
It's a mystery, like some people think it's nothing, but I think they should take it seriously.
Now, there are voluntary evacuation orders in place for multiple coastal communities, and we have a complete list for you. It's up right now on KHOU.com. I can also tell you the county judge says they have multiple high water rescue vehicles in place across Galveston County should they be needed once Beta moves in.
All right, Marcelino Benito reporting there. Thank you. Well, the city of Houston will activate its emergency center this morning at 7 o'clock, and the mayor says first responders are preparing for what could lie ahead.
The police department, the fire department, public works are already now stationing the equipment that it will be needed. And then we're going to kind of focus a little bit on the south side in terms of stationing a little bit more equipment on that end, just in case.
The mayor says the city doesn't anticipate having to set up any shelters, but he is urging everyone to pay close attention to weather reports over the next couple of days. And now is a great time to download that KHOU 11 app to track the storm. Make sure to turn on those notifications and we'll send you updates right to your phone. You can also text the keyword storm to 713-526-1111.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus. Here are 3 things to know today. Number 1, the Houston Health Department is closing their testing sites because of the storm. Now, we don't know if the closure will extend past today, but we will, of course, keep you updated as we learn more. Number 2, the city of Houston reported 391 new cases yesterday. That brings the city's total to more than 71,000. The city also reported 9 deaths yesterday, bringing the total to 1,040. And number 3, starting today, restaurants, shops, offices, museums, and libraries can expand their capacity to 75%. Then on Thursday, up to 2 family members can visit their loved ones in nursing homes and assisted living centers. Bars will remain closed for now. Schools are getting back to normal as well. Aldine ISD will begin in-person instruction for some students. In addition to that, sports and marching band practices will also begin. Meanwhile, Alief ISD will start some in-person classes today. That includes special education students whose parents requested in-person instruction. For everyone else, it's still online. And remember, KHOU is your education station. Text the word school to 713-526-1111, and we will send you a link to your district's reopening plans as well as how to track any COVID-19 cases in your district.
Right now, officials are searching for this violent attacker. Saturday night, sheriff's deputies in Liberty County say they responded to a 911 call at a home. When they got there, they found a woman chained to a bed with a rope around her neck. And outside, the body of another woman who had been shot and burned inside a car. Deputies say 59-year-old Jose Marin Soriano employed the women as housekeepers. Authorities believe Soriano fled in a gray Ford pickup truck. They say if you do see him, do not approach him. Call 911 immediately. Deputies believe he is armed and dangerous. Now to the wildfires burning along the West Coast, which are expected to get worse today, specifically to the fire burning to the northeast of Los Angeles. Experts say gusty winds and low humidity could give the fire a chance to grow. That fire has scorched about 156 square miles and more evacuation orders are underway. Right now, nearly 19,000 firefighters are battling more than 24 major wildfires in California alone. And over the weekend, well, Seattle got to enjoy some clearer air. This after the wildfires created such dangerous air quality. Meantime, Portland ranked the worst in air quality on Earth.
President Trump says he will nominate a woman as soon as this week to replace Justice Ginsburg. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has pledged to move forward with a vote on that. 2 Republican senators, Susan Collins from Maine and Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, say they will not support the nominee if the vote takes place before the election. However, President Trump could lose 3 votes in the Senate and still have his Supreme Court nominee confirmed. House and Senate Democrats are indicating that they'll do everything they can to stall the vote. Here's a refresher on how the nomination process works. First, nominations are sent to the Senate Judiciary Committee, and that's where confirmation hearings will take place. The nominees are then grilled by lawmakers about their views. Then the committee votes on whether the nominee should move forward after that. If that happens, the full Senate will vote. The nominee needs approval from 51 members to be confirmed. We turn now to sports. The Astros brought home a much-needed win in their final home game of the season. George Springer helped the Stros to victory over the Diamondbacks with a homer in the 6th and then another homer in the 7th. It was really exciting. Final score 3-2. Next, the Astros play the Mariners tonight at 8:10. As for football, the Texans off to a slow and disappointing start to the season after losing to the Ravens yesterday. Their record is now 0-2. The Ravens rushed for 230 yards compared to the Texans with 51 yards. Final score 33-16. That one hurt a little bit. The Texans play the Steelers this coming Sunday at noon. Hopefully we can rebound then. All right, Cheetah Craft, we talk now about Tropical Storm Beta. What's the most important thing we need to know about this storm?
Well, this is going to be basically today through Wednesday. And really the one thing you need to know is the on and off rain. So at this point, if you're just waking up saying, hey, can I get to where I need to go this morning? Really inland and areas north of town, you're going to notice just on and off rain at this point. So there's not anything this morning that we're telling you about. If you live along the coast, those are the areas where schools have closed and classes have been canceled. And the reason is not only because of the storm surge, the really gusty winds, but also the potential for just an extreme amount of rainfall over the next 3 days. So that is why you're going to notice those coastal county, those classes canceled and the schools are being closed. But otherwise, everything is operating normally. Let me show you here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit tighter. It's areas north of town, but notice the counterclockwise circulation here. That's the outermost rain bands of Beta. That's the rain that we're seeing. It started yesterday, and that's what's going to continue through Wednesday. So as far as our rainfall totals, I think this kind of paints a pretty clear image, anywhere from about 4 to 8 inches of rain through Wednesday, and that's starting our totals from yesterday. So we're going to see waves of rain over the next 3 days, and it's going to continue. Notice the coastal areas between 8 to 12 plus. I do think by Wednesday afternoon or evening, we are going to have an isolated spot that picks up about 15 plus inches of rain towards the coastline. Let's talk about the winds. I know when we're talking about the winds, gusts are possible up to about 55 to 60 miles per hour, even through Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, and then they really should be done. That's when we're expecting Beta to kind of continue to kick off eastward. Today, on and off rain. This is your TrueView Skycast. So you'll have a period of some heavy downpours, and then it'll let up a little bit, and then you'll have a period of heavy downpours. But it's during those heavy downpours we could start to see some high water spots. Flooding will be a threat through Wednesday, so just keep your guard up. But at this point, it's really light to moderate rain out there. And take a look, current winds up to 28 miles per hour in Galveston, but otherwise really manageable conditions. And that continues right through your Wednesday. We will zoom in, and I'll show you the latest track coming up in about 6 minutes.